You have to understand something. We have a very, very tense and stressful time in Israel when it comes to the political level. And there is a big discipline about opposition member to not assist anybody from the coalition. It's like a rule in the Bible. And Albert was going after me in the Knesset, asking me to come and join, and was telling me about how important it is. And I have to tell you, Albert, you were right. And I want to thank you for making me come here and realize with my own eyes what it means to see faith by people of faith who support us, true friends and allies of the State of Israel in its hardest time. And the genuine love that I feel when I'm with you even makes me stop arguing with Ohad about our leadership. And to prove my point, I'm going to say something that really, really can be a continuation of your words. So, but don't tell anything about what happens here back when we were back in the parliament. Okay. So I hope that you will soon see how it really, it's like a harmonious continuation of the story of Ohad, about miracles that we are witnessing these days. And I want to tell you, like a Torah, Dvar Torah, which is a small speech by the late Rabbi Isaac. He was the chief rabbi of Great Britain. And that is something that he said that I think that really is interesting to wrap up this whole day. If you open the middle school of the Torah, it is called Vayikra, Leviticus. And when you open that book, the first word that you read is in Hebrew, Vayikra. The Aleph is the last letter in the word Vayikra. Now, what is it that telling us? He said, the late Rabbi Isaac. It is telling you something extraordinary. There are two words in Hebrew which sound almost identical, but which are opposite in their meaning. One is the word mikre. It sounds very similar, which means it just happened. Mere coincidence, like a chance. And the other word that sounds very similar is mikra, which means God is calling us. There is nothing chance. There is no chance in what happened. It is God calling us through His providence, asking us to do something and to look at the bigger picture. And the only difference is only one small letter at the end of each one of these words. And that is why at the Bible, this book starts with a word, with a last letter in a small letter, to remind us what the small difference is between seeing life as mere coincidence or as a chance, or looking at life as God's call. And how does that relate to everything that Ohad said? Because by us, after October 7th, you know, it's really, really hard for me, for us Israelis, to look up and say, wow, all of these amazing things are happening, all of these wins, all of these miracles, because everything was such, you know, we were having such, and still are having a very challenging time. But when we look at the miracles that happened, like Ohad told you the story, that we saw one achievement after the other, with the, you know, taking out the worst of the worst terrorists in the world in the Middle East, changing the face of the Middle East, looking at you, see how faith grows during that time of hardship. And I think that, I mean, I personally take with me the obligation to look at life not as something that happens by coincidence and address it like that, but try to understand that God is sending us, you know, all the elements of us to look at the big pictures and look to the future. And I think that I would wrap up with, we've been in the Knesset when President Trump came that day, when all the hostages came back to their families, And it was electrifying. We were sitting in the parliament. The Israeli public was glued to their television. One hostage came out every few hours. Trump was talking in the Knesset. And it was really, really such a big excitement that I've never experienced before. And I think that day was God's will. And Be'ezrat Hashem, we will have a lot of good blessings and good days for all of the free world and the people of faith. So thank you again. Thank you very much.